At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Well, good morning to you. I am back finally after a nice little vacation with the family here. I'm enjoying my cup of coffee right here from my studio. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, I'm a little disheveled this morning again. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, you know that I had a contest to help you have a little fun, maybe win some free Weather NorCal swag, including that swag would include a free coffee mug, a shirt, and of course I'm going to be announcing the winner here in just a second, but I want to make sure everybody's here and kind of populated, ready to go and watching so that the winner knows that they are the indeed winner, and then of course they know how to contact me to make sure I can get the swag to them. So I had a lot of fun. It's good to be back here, and I'm going to share some of those photos with you this morning here. This is from Paulina Hot Springs, which is to the south, yes, to the south of, I believe it is, yes, to the south of Bend, Oregon. You can see I need new shoes there. I got a little hole there in the toenail part of my shoe there. But this is where I was. I went with my wife and a friend of ours. And this is kind of a little over a mile hike from a campground in that area. I believe that's Paulina Peak, by the way. But what's interesting, this is still kind of an active volcanic area. And you've got these hot springs kind of along the shore of the lake there, and this is just kind of a perfect spot. You got to kind of mix in some of the colder lake water with the hot springs because it gets too hot. So that was a lot of fun and just a beautiful view out there as a result. The other family I went with, of course, you can see on the very far left is Rick. We've got Jackie. We've got my wife Sadie there. My son to the right of me there, Aiden, or to my left. And of course, Jackie and Rick's son, Jordan. So we had a lot of good fun there. That was out at the Smith Rock State Park. Now, that was the day before I went on a hike with my son and Jordan. And we went to the top of Smith Rock, took a hike up there. Didn't have to climb or do any crazy rock climbing, but it was definitely a lot of fun and enjoyed the beautiful sight. Now, my wife has this way of finding these unique spots, these unique areas. Now, this is in the Redmond area, which is north of Bend, actually pretty close to Smith Rock State Park, at least kind of in the same general vicinity, same area. And it's a little off the beaten path to get to, but it's called Peterson Rock Garden and Museum. Now, this is just one example of the several structures they had out there, and it was really neat. A lot of different types of rocks that they made these really cool structures out of. They had a little museum in there as well. Again, off the beaten path, but despite the fact that it's off the beaten path, there were still a lot of people out there that, I was kind of surprised to see a lot of them out there. So definitely kind of neat to see that. All right, let's check in with everybody and make sure everything is up and running, and so far so good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to announce the winner. And her name is Lisa Belt. Now, Lisa, if you're watching right now, here's what I want you to do. Number one, if you're on social media and you can respond, that'd be kind of fun. All you have to do is just kind of say, hey, I'm here, thank you so much. But Lisa Belt is the winner. Now, Lisa, what I want you to do, I want you to email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. Now, I may also, in fact, I probably will also connect with you via instant message if that's something I can indeed do, and you have that in your settings here. But for some reason, X is not coming in. That's interesting. I'll have to try and see what's going on with that a little bit later. But in the meantime, boy, for some reason, the chat's not showing up either. There we go. We've got someone from Facebook who's saying good morning. So it looks like that is up and running. What I got to do here is I got to check something real quick, if you don't mind. And I'm just going to keep the winner up there because, let's see here. Let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and view it. That should be good. Okay, we are good to go. All right, for some reason it's not popping up. That's terrible. So I won't be able to share your, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Don't you just love technology? Isn't it fun? Right? Let me just check one more thing here. Let me see if that works. No, it should be working. Oh well, that is what it is. Well, welcome back to From Vacation, which, by the way, another programming note, want to let you all know that I'm going to be doing kind of another extended vacation here, and it's going to be another one of those you'll have an opportunity to win, but I'm going to be doing it and approaching the contest a different way because, unfortunately, there was somebody out there who decided to take advantage of my name, take advantage of the fact that I had a contest, and try to scam some of you. And I had deeply apologized that that is something you had to contend with because that's terrible. I hate the fact that someone's trying to do that. So hopefully no one clicked on the link and gave their credit card information. One thing I'd like to mention, whenever I have a contest, I will never ask for your personal information, including your credit card information. If you win something, all I'm going to ask for you is to email me and give me your home address so I can send that to you. But outside of that, I'm not going to ask for credit card information or anything of that nature here. Kay is saying, welcome back. I certainly appreciate that. And again, unfortunately, I'm not able to. Let's see if the view is coming in. There's nothing coming in. Maybe it'll work tomorrow. It had some kind of weird glitch. It's having a hard time kind of getting on some of my social media accounts, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I've got Kay Berry saying welcome back. I've got a Facebook user, doesn't have a name, saying good morning as well. So I appreciate you all kind of chiming in this morning. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. It was great to be back. But as I mentioned, I'm going to be leaving again for another trip with the family. Actually, after I do Coffee with Krueger on Wednesday, do the morning update, and then Brian Wilson will be filling in for me again. He'll be doing the noon and evening on Wednesday, then Thursday and Friday. And then I will be at my same location for all of next week. Yeah, I'm still going to be doing Coffee with Krueger at least Monday through Wednesday of next week. We'll see how it goes because I should be able to live remote from where I'm going to be. And then, of course, that's where I'll announce the next winner when some of you try to guess where we are on our next vacation. I'm really excited because this will be the first extended vacation that I've had since Weather NorCal started. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Brian is excited to do some extra fill-in work for me and kind of get his name out there as well and get some of that. So we've got Rebecca saying happy Monday. Everyone, it's nice and cool this morning. That is awesome. Terry and Berlou saying good morning and welcome back. Well, thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Had an amazing time, and it was so nice to just kind of break away for the first time for an extended period of time from Weather NorCal. As much as I love reporting the weather, you got to take a break, right? And I'm going to be taking a longer break, as I mentioned, for about a week and a half, with a little bit of work mixed in there as well, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. All right. Speaking of work, speaking of the forecast, speaking of what we're doing here and why you all are here, let's get to the forecast, shall we? So, of course, again, if you're just checking in and you're wondering who the winner is, the contest that I just had, Lisa was able to guess that I was indeed in Bend, Oregon, and she, among many others, were able to guess where I was, and I put her in the drawing. She was the one that won in the drawing, and she just won a free coffee mug and a shirt. So, Lisa, if you are watching, do me a favor, email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. I'll probably post this on Facebook as well, so Lisa will have a better opportunity to check that out. But just for you all to know that I will always be announcing the winners for the first time right here on Coffee with Krueger. So that's always going to be the best place to check when you enter into one of my contests. And again, I'm going to have to figure out a new way to do that contest. Let's get you to the radar. And yes, we did see some lightning strikes yesterday afternoon. We are still seeing a little bit of that rain out there just northeast of El Terso. Looks like Cedarville, Fort Bidwell, seeing a little bit of that light rain this morning, but it's moving to the north and east. Dry everywhere else this morning, but I do expect to see a chance for some more thunderstorms later on this afternoon for some of the higher elevations, which we'll get into here in a second. Take a look at the current temperatures out there right now, mainly in the low 70s for most of us in the valley, although Corning and Willows are the cooler spots. In the upper 60s at the current hour. We're in the 50s and 60s for the higher elevations and right around 50 for the coast. Speaking of the coast, there's a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning, basically for central Humboldt County, northward into Del Norte County. Now, it does extend into some of the inland areas as well, but you can see places like Hoopa, for example, good visibility. It's mainly along the coast where we have the most dense fog right now. This is looking out at Elk Country. This is north of Trinidad that you are looking at right now. I'm going to pull up the camera coming up in Crescent City right now, and what that's going to show you, this is Crescent City in Harbor District, and you can see just the dense fog that we're seeing out there. So basically 0 to about a half a mile visibility is what we are looking at this point. All right, let's go ahead and get you out of that, get you back to the visibilities, and we'll kind of see what's going on here for the rest of the area. Looking at your forecast out the door this morning, well, it is going to be another mild start to the day for the valley. Now, we've got some smoky skies in some areas, especially in the north and Siskiyou and Modoc counties. Of course, the fog along the coast, temperatures there in the mid-50s at 8 o'clock this morning. And real quickly, taking a look at your forecast. So for those of you that are in a hurry and just need to get out the door to know what to expect, now don't be too alarmed when you see all of those lightning strikes in the mountains, even the inland areas. This is just indicating that there's the chance. I think everyone in the mountains has a chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, even into the evening hours, and it could extend as far west as some of the inland areas, especially places like Hoopa, maybe Willow Creek. I think slimmer chances southward into Garberville, but some of those inland areas, even in eastern Del Norte County, could see that potential. Otherwise, dry for the rest of us in the valley and the foothills, Shingletown 93. Still 100 degrees or higher for most of us in the valley. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook region by region. We start off with the valley. We could break the triple-digit stretch that we've seen, I think 17 days straight so far, but we may break that stretch as early as tomorrow possibly or Wednesday, but then we're back up to a warming trend for Thursday into this upcoming weekend. The coast, looking at mostly cloudy skies, of course fog, especially in the overnight and early morning hours, and some of that fog may be hard to burn off through some of these afternoons. Chance for showers and thunderstorms here for the inland areas today, and not to mention in Trinity County. It's also the case for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and not to mention in Lassen County. Now notice Tuesday, I've still got a chance for Alturas because there still is a chance for Modoc County on Tuesday. Otherwise, the rest of the mountains should be thunderstorm free. And you'll notice the temperature is decreasing a bit before going back up again by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. All right, let's get into, of course, those of you that just need to get out the door. All right, you got the forecast, you know what to expect for today. All right, let's get you into a detailed fire forecast and what's going on with the fires here. All right, and I want you, if you are being impacted by these fires or you just want to know something about these fires, use the interactivity. Use the fact that I'm here and I can answer any of your questions, whether it's fire related or anything going on with the forecast. That's the beauty of what we're doing here, folks, with Coffee with Krueger, is that we can get interactive. I can answer your questions. We can chat with one another. We back and forth. I can literally look at the latest updates that are coming in as far as any comments, such as Butch Wolf saying good morning, Curtis Brown saying good morning from 7 miles west of Red Bluff. He's saying welcome back. Looks like you guys had a great time, saying he loves the Bend area as well. And no, it's a lot of fun, right? We got Forbes-town Firewise replying to Rebecca Lynn. Rebecca Lynn, so nice this morning. Yes. And then Betty is saying, tiny little cool breeze, 71 degrees, and she's got that, smiley face. So again, people telling me the nice weather they're experiencing. But again, if you have questions and want to know more about this, yeah, Forbes Town saying love to be able to interact. And that's what's so great about this. You're not going to get that from a TV station, right? Sure, you can email them, you can, go onto their social media, but you can't get the instant reaction, the instant results from that as well. So that's what's so fun about it. So I wanted to show you this because earlier this morning for my 6 o'clock update, this data wasn't updated yet. And that's why I don't show you the latest heat signatures coming in. But they come in just in time for Coffee with Krueger, and I can show you this. Now, this is looking at the Shelley fire west of Highway 3. Of course, this is the big fire that everyone's been talking about for the last couple of weeks. The areas of red are the most recent hotspots. Now, what's concerning is you can see the hotspot that's getting closer and closer to Highway 3, closer to Scott Valley. And that's what we don't want to see. And of course, the areas of yellow is a couple of days old, and those gray colors, that's 6 to 7 days old. So you can see the outer perimeter is where we're seeing most of that. Now, based on the latest data, and I'm going to double check this because I want to make sure that I'm reporting the correct information. But based on the latest data, let me go ahead and refresh the website here. Yes, it's just under 15,000 acres with 3% containment. Now, I'm going to walk up to the map here. I don't have my coat suit on here, but I want to show you where that containment is. It's right around in this general area right here. Now, of course, we want to see all the containment right here. It'd be nice to see that, but based on the discussion coming in from CAL FIRE, they've got 2 dozer lines. They've got one right about here and then another one kind of in the neighboring communities here. So they have that backup. So 2 dozer lines as a little extra insurance here if that fire, should that fire begin to spread more to the east and closer to the valley. So let's take a look, kind of a better perspective coming in from Scott Valley. There's a look, kind of the perspective from Etna as that fire comes up and over that ridge. Now that's the ridge that is right there just before you hit Etna. And then it goes down into the valley, Cheeseville, Greenview. You can see the perspective there. And of course, it gets a little bit farther away for places like Fort Jones. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit closer. We take you out to Mugginsville. Mill Creek Road going into that drainage right there. Now, it's not quite over that ridge just yet. They are doing a pretty good job keeping that fire from spreading too far to the north. Meanwhile, we take you a little bit closer to places like Cheeseville, and not to mention Greenview and Etna. And what we're seeing here, again, if you remember on Friday, when I was, on Wednesday of last week, I was reporting, it was, and I'll show you here, just to kind of give you an idea. Last Wednesday, it was right around this ridge right here, and I was talking about it has to go down here and then up this ridge right here. So we've got this ridge right here, and then it comes down into the valley, Deacon Lee Place, and then there's Etna. So again, it is showing signs of spreading this direction, but as I mentioned, they've got dozer lines. The first dozer line to help, and if that should fail, then there are more dozer lines that are closer to the communities of Etna, Cheeseville, Greenview, not to mention Fort Jones. So there are 2 basically dozer lines as walls of defense as this fire kind of progresses to the east. So let's take again a better look of the whole fire perimeter itself. And there you can see right there. So let's take a look at some of the distances from some of the local communities. Fort Jones, it is about 8.6 miles. Now again, it's moving closer to Greenview and Etna. We're just a little over 3 miles there from that northern and easternmost part of the fire perimeter. So just to kind of give you an idea of the distance from those communities. Meanwhile, we take you up to the Bogus fire, which is now 90% contained. Haven't seen it grow even since I last reported on it last Wednesday. 90% containment. Give you a better perspective. Still pretty far from places like Montague, Wairika, and not to mention even Klamath Falls. Here's the Point fire, 80% containment. Also, really haven't seen it grow a whole lot, but it is actually pretty close. Alarmingly close, obviously, to Garberville at 1.5 miles and 2.6 from right away. But again, they're getting some pretty good containment on this, and we haven't really seen the fire grow a whole lot. Let's take you to, before we get to the smoke forecast, there's the latest smoke forecast through noon today. You can see not a lot of smoke. But what I wanted to do was show you first of all, what it looked like last night. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. And if you look closely, a lot of times when the fires are active, in fact, when the fires are active and they're burning hot, you will see orange glows on the map. We're not seeing that. So this is certainly a very good sign. However, when you did see that map earlier, there has been some recent activity in the last 6 hours or so. That was kind of the outer perimeter of the fire. But again, nothing major, no major big hotspot coming in from any of the fires that are in the area. So another one I didn't really get to touch on because I don't have the fire perimeter for that map yet, except for Watch Duty does have it here. You can see that it is 1,025 acres, now at 15% containment. So to kind of give you an idea where it is, you've got Highway 299 right here, New Beaver, you've got Dixie right there. There is a look at the rim fire, and then if you look to the west of it, you've got Bernie, kind of the left part of your screen there. So still pretty far from any of these mountain communities. We have seen it grow since it did start. But all evacuation warnings have all been lifted, which is obviously a good sign, and we are seeing some containment from that particular fire. The North fire now at this point, I believe, yes, 100% containment, so we don't really have to worry too much about that one. We've also got the Dewey fire, which is 90% contained. That's actually the bogus fire, excuse me. That's at 109 acres and sitting at 20% containment. Don't have a fire perimeter for that one just yet, so as it does, of course, be the first to let you know about that. Meanwhile, we take you out to the Point fire, which I focused on a little bit earlier. That's at 80% containment at 85 acres. So again, it's good to see a lot of containment on these fires here, and that is making things a lot better. All right, take a look at the smoke forecast. And because we're not seeing a lot of activity coming from these fires, we're not going to see a ton of haze and smoke today. And in fact, if this trend with these fires not being fairly active, if this trend continues, that's going to mean less smoke and haze going into the next couple of days. Now the winds, not an issue here this morning, but of course as we go into this afternoon, they will begin to pick it back up again, coming in from the south for the valley, from the west for the eastern mountains, but not that bad for western Siskiyou County, Trinity County, and even for Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Now we are seeing the humidity levels obviously drop again down into the single digits and teens for the valley, teens for western Siskiyou County and Trinity County, and teens also for the eastern mountains. The fire weather risk is mainly orange, indicating the high to very high range, including central Siskiyou County, and in the moderate to high range here for parts of the eastern mountains. Now what's interesting is we have a red flag warning for most of Trinity County and western Siskiyou County, also including parts of eastern Del Norte County and northeastern Humboldt County. That's basically due to the fact that we've got the chance for isolated thunderstorms. But when we look at futurecasts, I want to show you something, because it's not just the west of the valley, but look at this. Even as we go to the noon hour, eastern Shasta County, Lassen County, Plumas County, even into Modoc County and Siskiyou County, already starting to see the potential for thunderstorms developing. And then we see that potential in Trinity County and most of Siskiyou County. But really, every one of the mountains, including, even though it's not showing here on Futurecast, but the chances are slimmer for places like Hoopa and Willow Creek. Then as we go into tonight, that's all pretty much gone. And then tomorrow, Modoc County could see a chance for some more of those showers and thunderstorms. But notice again, we're seeing the kind of the tail end of that disturbance kind of pushing through Modoc County this morning. And that's why we're seeing some of those showers up there. Let's talk about the heat. I didn't want to talk about that part of the heat though, but what I wanted to talk about is the consecutive number of days Redding has seen 100 degrees or higher. Now starting last month, June 28th is when we started that stretch. So 3 days to wrap up the month of June. So 3 days plus, you can see here, 14 days. That's 17 consecutive days that we've seen since June 28th of 100 plus degree temperatures. Now the record, as I wanted to show you, is 26 straight days. But the thing is, as we take a look at the temperature trend over the next 10 days for Redding, we could possibly drop below 100 degrees as early as tomorrow, if not Wednesday. If that happens, that means it breaks that streak and we're nowhere near getting close to, or even breaking the stretch of 26 consecutive straight days of 100 plus degree temperatures in Redding. However, if we get up to 100 degrees at least for Tuesday, Wednesday, then I think we could break that stretch. And that's something that could be interesting. That would mean we're going to break the stretch of 26 straight days. All right, here's a look at Main Street, Chico. Looks like things are flowing smoothly there right now. We can see is a look at Highway 99 at Neal Road. Things are looking pretty good there as well. And also Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive in Redding. It looks like things are okay. And here is today's picture of the day. Thank you, Colin Bowles, for sending in this picture out of the Redding sunrise. With all of the heat that we've been seeing here, this is a nice, cool start to the day and a reminder of ways to stay cool if you happen to have a backyard pool like it looks like Colin has. nice way to stay cool during this summer heat. If you want to send in your photos and want to see them on Coffee with Krueger and the morning update as well as social media, please don't hesitate to do it. How you're staying cool, sunrise, sunset photo like you saw there, how your dogs are staying cool, anything that you think would be fun to share, share it from the free Weather NorCal app, and you just might see it right here on Coffee with Krueger. Again, one more reminder, our winner of the contest of Where is Krueger is Lisa Bell. You have won a free coffee mug and a shirt. Just need to tell me your size and where to send that swag for you, and we will get it sent out to you. All you got to do, Lisa, is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, and I will be sure to get that all out to you. I'll, of course, also try to send this on social media, just so in case Lisa isn't watching this morning, which it doesn't look like she is, because if she was, or if she's watching from, say, Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, that means that then, of course, she can't interact. So, Lisa, if you're watching, there is the information for you. So you can, of course, get your free Weather NorCal swag. Thank you all so much for participating in that contest. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, there was someone who tried to take advantage of it and, you know, do a whole scam thing. Hopefully no one clicked on that link. Well, today is Monday, which means we've got our Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. And there's a fun thing that Turtle Bay does that gets you a little bit more interactive with the animals, and we're going to show you right here. Your Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals is proudly sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. I've got Sharon Clay here from Turtle Bay. We have got Timber, and this is always a fun thing to do. First of all, Timber is on my lap, and you're probably thinking, wow, what a lucky guy. And you know what? I am a lucky guy. This is my job, thanks to Sharon, of course, giving some of this behind-the-scenes look. And that's what we're talking about, behind the scenes. There's a really cool thing that I'm not the only one who can do this. Anyone can do this, right?
Anybody can do this. So we have 3 behind-the-scenes encounters in the summertime that people can pay to come. All of the money goes directly to help the animals at Turtle Bay, so it goes right back into their care and their health and their well-being. And so Timber, you have to be at least 8 years old.
Okay.
But we also do Spike the porcupine in the summertime, and we do Gucci the opossum, and both of those are all ages, so you can do any age for them.
So bring your newborn by and have them lay on their...
You know, we've had people bring like, 2 or 3 year olds for it. And, that actually does, that starts the appreciation, that starts that young actually does start, having kids appreciate and understand wildlife. So we're really happy. People can touch them when they're here. Yep. What do you think his tail feels like?
It feels like rubber. Like a tongue.
I always say I think it feels like a basketball.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah. And then when people have him on their lap, they can touch him, they can feel his belly. Feel his belly. Tell me what his belly feels like.
His belly feels like...
I say a velvet-covered water balloon.
Okay, I see that.
I see that.
I just feel a belly.
It's like looking at clouds and saying, I see a dog, and I see that,
I think everybody's imagination goes all kind of different places.
And then his back feet are like the softest leather ever. You can touch his back feet. And we talk a lot about how important beavers are to the environment. So
that is weird. Okay, the feet are weird as far as feeling them. Okay, sorry.
It's like leather, isn't it?
Yeah, and then of course the webbed, for getting them.
I don't know if you could see on that side right now. It's kind of covered. But we talk a lot, it is educational. We talk all about beavers and their importance in the environment. And they're actually starting to do reintroductions with beavers because they can single-handedly get rid of our drought. These guys, this right here, this space right here, can get rid of the drought.
Right? Is that why?
So it's not just the dams, but when they're eating all of the plants material around, they want to be near water. Water's safety. So once they've eaten everything in that area, they dig out canals, and then they bring the water out so they can get to the next plants, because if they just walk on land far distances, they don't walk very fast, and then coyotes, foxes, bobcats, mountain lions, wolves all get them. So it's super important that they stay near water at all times for safety.
That is so awesome. So if you are 8 years or older, of course, you can hang out with Timber here on your lap. If you are of any other age, newborn up. All the others, right?
That's right. Gucci.
Remind me again.
Gucci, the opossum, Spike, the North American porcupine. Spike can only happen in the summertime because she torpors in the wintertime.
Torpors.
Yeah,
yes.
do you remember that?
That's hibernation.
Basically a type of hibernation. Very
Yes.
good. So she doesn't like to come out in the wintertime. So if you want to meet and have a special encounter like this with Spike the porcupine, now is the time.
Now is a good time to do
Now
that.
is a good time.
And of course, you can go to the website to find out more about it. Go to turtlebay.org. And of course, we'll have that information for you on the screen below. Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Timber, for letting me, touch. It's probably weird to have people touching in all these weird places, like your belly, your feet, is this called a tail?
That is a tail.
It's called a tail.
It's called a tail.
Right?
And he doesn't care. As long as
no.
strangers don't touch his face or his front feet, he is perfectly fine. He was raised with us since he was 7 weeks old.
Okay.
And so he loves people. He loves these encounters. He loves the attention.
And the encounters are for about 30 minutes or so, right?
Yeah, they're about a half an hour.
Okay.
And they can look online for the prices. There's different prices for members and non-members.
Excellent.
And
So
it's per person.
Be sure to do that. It is so much fun having him on my lap like this, touching all the different parts of his body. All right. You're awesome. Thank you. And we will see you next time for another Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. So there you have it. That's, of course, the Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. And if you're interested in checking that out, to do the behind the scenes, maybe have, of course, the beaver there on your lap. And, of course, they've got other animals that they do this as well. All you got to do is go to turtlebay.org, which you see on your screen right here. And I want you to do is go see where it says Animals at the top in the menu there. If you scroll down, or if you kind of go down here, it says Behind the Scenes Encounters. And there you will get all of the information that you need. You can put your name and your information here. And of course, you can give them the message to let them know which animal you're interested in. It has all the pricing there for you. And again, keep in mind, all of the money that goes into this goes, of course, straight back to Turtle Bay to help the animals. So that is always a lot of fun. By the way, remember she was talking about how they can single-handedly be help within the drought. With that said, kind of reminded me that the latest drought monitor came out last week, and well, there it is. Take a look. You can see we are now getting more of a drought for parts of Northern California. Now, it's not terrible. You think of the fact that we saw a lot of rain during the winter season, so that really helped. But we saw very dry conditions over the last couple of months, so now we are getting at least in that dry category for the north and eastern parts of the state and parts of the higher elevations. And look at Wairika, extreme northern Siskiyou County, in that moderate category. So that is obviously something we need to kind of start paying more close attention to. And we may start to see this drought monitor get more within the moderate to severe range. We'll see. I mean, we've got weeks and several months to go, and we'll see. But of course, just don't see much in the way of rain heading our way anytime soon. All right, let's go and take a look now at, well, let's get you into this here. We're going to get to your deep dive forecast. And of course, as you know, Coffee with Krueger is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. Without them, of course, Coffee with Krueger would not be possible. So let's, of course, at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. I don't know, for some reason, I've got one of those smart thermometers or thermostats in my house. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You know why? Because it thinks it's smarter than me. I keep trying to keep the AC on, but for some reason, if it doesn't detect anyone walking by, it thinks nobody's home. So it turns off the AC, and then I get hot in my studio here, and I have to keep going back to turn it on. Now, I don't know how to turn it off to say, hey, just keep it on at the temperature I tell you to. But man, there are times I just wish I had one of those old school ones where you just have that little switch at the top, and it would just, it's at that temperature all the time. And if you don't want it, I'm getting frustrated with it. For those of you, if you have one of those smart thermometers, let me know if there's a way you can turn off that stupid setting. It's ridiculous. All right. Enough of that. Let's get to the forecast, shall we? There you can see some of the wet weather we're still seeing this morning off into northeastern portions of Model County. That should be kind of clearing out here in the next hour or so. But then later this afternoon, which we'll get into, you'll see that there's a chance for more of those thunderstorms. There you can see temperatures mainly in the low 70s in the valley. Upper 50s, low 60s for the higher elevations, and right around 50 along the coast. Now look at our weather headlines. There's a dense fog advisory this morning for the coast until 9 a.m. The fire danger remains high. We've got more isolated mountain thunderstorms here, especially today, but even for parts of Northern California tomorrow. Again, a closer look at that here in a bit. A slight drop in our temperatures the next few days before, the temperatures can be warming back up again towards the end of this week and into the weekend. Right now, the winds are fairly calm across the board, but they will be picking up again later this afternoon, especially in the valley, not to mention to the north and to the east. The winds die down tonight, tomorrow morning. They go back up again tomorrow afternoon. And then we get to see the same pattern going into Wednesday morning and then Wednesday afternoon. However, it looks like the winds are going to be a little bit weaker for the valley, at least for Wednesday afternoon, but still a bit on the breezy side off into the eastern mountains. And that's going to have an impact on the overall fire danger, but the humidity is another thing that we look at. Now, as you can see this afternoon, we're in the single digits to teens in the valley. Now notice, it's a little bit higher in western Siskiyou County and Trinity County. That helps a little bit here in the firefighting efforts, and not to mention off to the east. And we see that good recovery tomorrow morning between 40 and 50%, but still fairly dry, around 30% towards western Siskiyou County near the Shelley fire. We'd like to see it a little bit higher than that. And then going to the afternoon, I do expect some slightly drier conditions tomorrow afternoon for western Siskiyou and Trinity County, still very dry in the valley. Good recovery again in the valley. It's not so great here, especially for western Siskiyou County, and then dry once again going into Wednesday afternoon. So we take a look at the fire weather risk. There you can see the high to very high for the valley. Same thing for Shasta Valley and central Siskiyou County. And we've kind of got that high fire danger just east of Susanville. Okay, then we go into Wednesday, same situation, maybe a little bit higher fire danger, especially to the north and east. And then we go into your Wednesday, you'll notice it's not quite as high with that fire danger for the valley, but still within that high to very high range, or moderate to high range for most of us in the higher elevations for Siskiyou, Modoc, and not to mention Lassen County. Real quick reminder, wildfire prevention. These are and the reason I do this is because a lot of the fires that we have are not from lightning strikes. They're from human cause events. Don't drive on dry grass. Secure those chains. You don't want sparks from the chains that are if you're towing something. Don't toss your cigarettes on the ground. Use your grills on a paved surface. Mow the lawn during the early morning hours when it's not windy and when it's not hot and dry. If it's nice and cool in the morning, you have light winds or very calm winds, not a bad idea. Then you can mow the lawn. It should be okay. But if there's a little bit of a breeze, don't even think about it. And then never leave fires unattended, and always properly extinguish those fires. So the smoke forecast, you can see we haven't seen a lot of activity coming in from the fires. All right, so that's good for the sake of everything, right? But also, if that trend continues, the amount of haze and smoke, we're going to see a lot less of it, both today and tomorrow. Now, that being said, if one of the fires should flare up, that's a completely different story, and especially areas surrounding that fire, you'll be looking at more smoke. I mean, you look at tomorrow night, not looking at much in the way of haze at all out there. But we still have a red flag warning for today for western Siskiyou County, most of Trinity County, and parts of Del Norte and Humboldt counties as well. That's mainly due to the fact that we get those isolated thunderstorms, but the potential for isolated dry thunderstorms, you'll see, cover a bigger area. Now, I don't think we're going to see thunderstorms in the valley, but it's including there, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I am still concerned about dry lightning strikes here, which is why I'm surprised we don't have a red flag warning for these areas. It'll be interesting to see if that gets updated or not. But we've got the potential for thunderstorms there, including Modoc County through tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Futurecast. I'll show what I'm talking about. Now, as we go into the noon hour, number one, let's just real quickly mention the coast. You've got that fog. It may burn off a little bit easier for places like Crescent City, but maybe harder for Eureka. But by noon, we're already seeing in the southern Cascades and northern Sierra, thunderstorms beginning to pop up. Now, it's dry out there. These are high-based thunderstorms. So if you're out in the high country, when you look at these thunderstorms, you'll see that the base of the thunderstorm is really high, and you see this long, long streak all the way to the ground of rain. Now, a lot of times that rain starts off, but it gets into the drier surface and it tends to evaporate. That's when we see the potential for dry lightning strikes. And that's what I'm concerned about right here, late morning, early afternoon. Okay, and then we go into your 5 p.m. today. You see how we're still seeing, now we're seeing it places like Trinity County, Siskiyou County, but still even often the Modoc County and Eastern Mountains. So again, I'm curious as to why there is not a red flag warning for these areas here as well, because there's that potential for dry lightning strikes today. Now, as we go into Tuesday, you'll notice Tuesday morning, there's that fog again along the coast, pretty dense. Could see some 0 to the half-mile visibility there. It's going to have a hard time burning off tomorrow afternoon, but there's the potential, mainly in Modoc County, for more thunderstorms. But I think, for the most part, we should be thunderstorm-free in Lassen, Plumas counties, and then, of course, west of that. Most of Siskiyou County, most likely looking at dry conditions, as well as Trinity County and the inland areas. Then we go into Tuesday night and into Wednesday. There's that fog again, fairly persistent along the coast. And Wednesday afternoon, still fairly foggy along most of the coast. But notice Wednesday afternoon, no more thunderstorms in the forecast. We're getting to break away from that monsoon moisture moving in. So we've got this area of high pressure right here, monsoon moisture. That's the source for the thunderstorms we've seen the last few days and will see today and tomorrow. But as that shifts eastward, the monsoon moisture moves on out. But it looks like after our slight cooling trend, which we're going to see here as we go into today, tomorrow in particular, and Wednesday, that area of high pressure is off to the east. But watch what happens as we go into especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That dome of heat begins to build closer to us. And as a result, our temperatures will increase again, especially for the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. Now, this area of low pressure right here is going to basically ride up and over that ridge of high pressure, especially by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday of next week. That should help break down that ridge and temperatures will drop again, especially for early next week. But a bit of a heat wave heading our way with warmer temperatures for the end of this week and into the upcoming weekend. Let's take a look at your wave heights, and there you can see we are looking at fairly low wave heights. Not necessarily concerned about those wave heights for those that need to be on a boat and are out fishing. However, it's the dense fog that we've got to be on the lookout for today, tomorrow, next few days really. So there's that patchy dense fog, but the winds, again, not that bad from the south at about 5 to 10 knots, not to mention the waves not that bad either. All right, here's your detailed neighborhood by neighborhood forecast. We start with Trinity County. There's that chance for thunderstorms today. Now again, don't be alarmed by this. Doesn't mean Coffee Creek, doesn't mean Lewiston, doesn't mean Big Flat is going to see a thunderstorm. It's just saying that the potential is out there. We've got that chance, okay? And we head southward here into southern Trinity counties. Again, same situation. Looks ominous, looks like everyone's going to be looking at this big massive thunder. No, not necessarily. But again, those chances are there. Take a look at the north coast. You'll notice I've got lightning strikes in here for Garberville northward to Red Crest. I will say this. I would say that the chances in southern Humboldt County are going to be slimmer for those thunderstorms inland than, say, places up to the north in central, northern Humboldt County and Del Norte County as well. But there you can see Ferndale, Fortuna, Hydesville, Rio Dell, upper 60s and low 70s for your daytime highs. So again, I think better chances for thunderstorms maybe for places like Hoopa, Willow Creek. That being said, even those chances are better, it's still a slim chance you'll even see that thunderstorm activity here. That's also the case for Orleans, Gasquet. That might be a little far west, but we'll see. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 60s for most of the immediate coast. Now, Siskiyou County, again, same situation. Not everyone here is going to see thunderstorms, but that potential is going to be there. We take a look at Scott Valley, 97 Greenview, 96 for Etna, 95 degrees for Callahan. We take you off to central and eastern Siskiyou County. Still have that chance for thunderstorms again today, but tomorrow those chances should be gone. However, when you look at Modoc County 7-day forecast, today and tomorrow, it's not until Wednesday that we'll remove those chances for thunderstorms in Modoc County. But we'll remove the thunderstorm chances for most of the eastern mountains, including Bernie, by Tuesday. You see how temperatures are dropping as well for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they're going back up again toward the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. Lake Almanor, Lassen Peak and Lake Almanor. There's that chance for isolated thunderstorms for today. Those chances diminish by tomorrow. Take you out to Paradise and Susanville. Also, the chance for thunderstorms in Susanville not so much for Paradise. We take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. We're going to be hovering around 100 degrees, give or take, for most of us in the valley. As you head southward, mainly upper 90s, places like Chico about 100 degrees. We take you north with 100 for Lakehead, Cottonwood about 103 degrees, Red Bluff you'll get up to 102. There's that slight dip in those temperatures. In fact, we take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. We could possibly just barely make it to 100 degrees by tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll see. For now, we could possibly drop below 100 degrees. That will break the stretch that we've seen so far since yesterday of 17 straight days of 100 plus degree temperatures. Of course, today will be the 18th day. Tuesday would be the 19th day, but Wednesday may break that stretch. We'll see. But then we're back up to 100 plus, not only 100 plus, but getting much warmer too. We're getting close to 110 degrees once again by Saturday, Sunday, but should stay shy of that 110 degree mark. So it's getting hotter out there. We are going to see some relief from this heat. But the main concern and the reason for that the cooler temperatures is the area of high pressure is moving out. As that area of high pressure moves out the next few days, the chances for thunderstorms will diminish because we no longer have that monsoon feed coming on in. But we've got that monsoon feed that we've seen over the weekend. We'll see it again today. And then we'll start to see that monsoon feed push to the east by Tuesday. And that means the chances for thunderstorms are slimmer with the exception of Alturas. It's not until Wednesday that Alturas will see that kind of break out. But then, of course, we'll see those temperatures increase again as that ridge of high pressure builds back closer to us and it's getting hotter again. All right, let's see what we got going on here. We've got Jody saying, just wondering how many days in a row have we had triples? All right, hopefully you just saw that because I just mentioned it. However, here's what we're going to do. Because we're interactive, and if you're still watching, Jody Heiser, here you go. Let's take a look at that. I did that earlier, and maybe you missed it during my first. So let's do this real quickly. I'm going to show you this right here. So we start with June 28th when we started 100 plus, right? So that's 3 days, 28th through the 30th in June. Then we go to July, we add 3 days to 14, which is 17. Today will be the 18th day. So far, technically, we've seen 17 consecutive days of 100 plus degree temperatures since June 28th in Redding. But as I mentioned, when we look at that trend, what it's showing is that we could break that trend. And the record is 26 straight days in Redding since records have been taken since 1893. So we could potentially break that record if we stay 100 degrees or higher for Tuesday, Wednesday, but there is that potential, and it's looking like we could drop below 100 degrees at that point. So good question, Jody. Thank you for reminding me about that. Of course, it's something that I, touched on a little bit sooner. Thank you, Mike. I'm loving this morning. It's cool. Yay. That's what Vicky is saying this morning here. And then we've got Krista is saying, maybe install a new thermostat. That's not so smart. That is a good point. If I can figure out though how to keep it on when I do, it's nice having that control of the thermostat from wherever I am. So yeah, but no, I agree. Maybe not having a smart thermometer would be the best thing to do. And then Vicky is asking, do you know if we have broken a record on how many days over 100 degrees for Willow Creek? I can't tell you for Willow Creek because I don't have records that go back that far, but I will double check on that, Vicky. In fact, what I'm gonna do, I like to write myself little notes, old school. I'm going to do Willow Creek and see if I have any data for Willow Creek that we can kind of check that if it would be broken. Yeah, because it's been pretty hot even in Willow Creek. I'll write a note to myself, Vicky, and be sure to check in tomorrow. If I don't mention it, that means, well, then of course I wasn't able to find that data. But I'll try to remind myself to remind you or about that. But good question. The thing is, and the reason I use Redding is because, number one, that's where I am. I'm not trying to fool anybody. I don't live in Chico. I don't live in Red Bluff. I live in Redding. Again, I'm not trying to, fool anybody. We all know that Mike Krueger lives in Redding. So what I typically do is use Redding as a centralized location for statistics like that, because the problem is it takes a long time to gather data even for just one location, let alone 2, 3, or 4 different locations. And that's why, for example, Willow Creek, I don't have your data on a regular basis because it just takes too much time for me to have to get all the data for all of the different communities in the area. So you're welcome, Vicki. And again, I'll kind of take a look at that. So we'll see. But bottom line is just, it's getting hot. I'm getting hot because my smart thermometer decided to turn itself off. Is it on? No. Wait, no, the AC is back on. My wife may have turned it back on. So there you go. And I would turn on my fan, but then it would be blowing the microphone and you would hear that. So that is pretty much going to do it for now. Yeah, I'm back on this Monday. Again, a quick programming note is I will be back. What's going on here? Why is this up? That's weird. So I'm going to be back with Coffee with Krueger this morning, of course, as you know, tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning. But yeah, I'm so excited. My family and I are going on another family vacation. And this time, I'm going to be gone on a vacation. This is even since I was in TV. I can remember only one time in my 25 years in TV that I got a 2-week vacation. When I took that 2-week vacation, I remember my boss said, "Mike, never again. That was way too long. People missed you, blah, blah, blah," right? But that was the best vacation ever because it's so nice to just detach from work for a couple of weeks. But I am trying out a 1.5-week vacation. Now, that all being said, Brian is going to be filling in for me during a good portion of that. But I'm not going to be doing any weather updates. Brian will be on Thursday or Friday. I will not have Coffee with Krueger Thursday or Friday. However, when I'm in my location, because I'm going to do another contest, see if you can figure out where I am. When I'm at my vacation spot, I will be doing Coffee with Krueger at the very least Monday through Wednesday of next week. And then Brian will be filling in for me, not with Coffee with Krueger, but just doing the weather updates for me, most likely that Thursday and Friday again. So we'll see, but I'm really excited to go on this vacation. Even though there's a little bit of work in there, I'm able to kind of take a good portion of the day, even on my work days, and spend some time with the family and in my vacation location. So we've got Jackie saying, "We like Brian's updates." That's awesome. I'll be sure to tell him you said that because I think he certainly appreciates that. Vicki just saying, "No worries, thank you. Appreciate that." Yeah, you bet. And then Forbestown Firewire saying, "You deserve it." Well, thank you. You know, and this is going to be the first experiment of being away from the studio for that period of time. I'm able to remote into the computers and do everything that I normally do, with the exception of it's going to be a little bit different. You'll notice the live shot will be, the Coffee with Krueger will be different, as well as my updates that I do for the day. Those will also be different. But I'll still be able to get you the forecast. I have access to all of the things that I have here in the studio. I can just remotely from where I am tap into my weather computer and all that good stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But that's going to do it for now. Check this out. Oh, looks like we have, let's do this. Let's wrap up the show, folks. And I'm going to start off with a camera coming in from Elk Creek. This is north of Trinidad. And if you look closely, you can see it looks like some elk are hanging out. They're laying down in the field kind of across that parking lot. That's fun. I always love it. And we've actually been there several times when they do have, and they're all hanging out. So it's a lot of fun. All right, so that's going to do it this morning. Let's wrap things up, of course, with this shot and other shots. And we will see you again bright and early tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 7 o'clock. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.